Hello, everybody. Oh my goodness, it's been a while since I've done a Facebook Live on my phone. How do I see the... How do I see the comments? Well, maybe nobody's on quite yet. I just started it, so... But hi, if you're seeing this later. I'm in Berlin, I'm in East Berlin, actually. I mean, there isn't really an East Berlin anymore. I mean, technically. Hey, Parisa. Hey, Kim. So yeah, I've been in Berlin for almost a week. It's been amazing. I love this city so much. And did the Symphony of Possibilities class for 4 days with Dr. Dane here. That was just incredible. Beyond words. And then I moved over to this part of Berlin. I'm in East Berlin, and just a really cool part of town. And I'm doing a 3-day body class here, another Access Consciousness class, and really enjoying this area. So I was here when I was a kid, and I really loved Berlin. It's very vibrant, and I wanted to come back. And here I am, I don't know, 42 years later or something like that. So it's been a little bit. So hello, everybody. Welcome. Thanks for being here with me. And so there's been so much going on, so many fun creations and just amazing stuff happening. And one of them is something that I'm starting next week. It's like the day after I get home from Europe, a 3-week trip in Europe. And it's called I Am Power, Becoming an Adult of Consciousness with Money. And for the longest time, for years, I've actually wanted to do a money class that is kind of like everything, like all encompassing. And it won't be everything, but it's nothing can really be everything, right? But I've wanted to do a money class that touches on all of the incredible tools in Access Consciousness in regards to money, because there are a lot of them. When we look at money, we look at changing our money situation, there's a lot of, one of the most dynamic ways that you can go about that and, changing your money situation or creating more money is being a lot more. And it's ironic, and it doesn't seem like it would be a direct, kind of connection to how much money is in your life and your wealth reality, which is about way more than just money. But being more allows you to receive more, allows your money flows to grow and expand. And I've seen this time and time again with myself, like the more I be me and stretch into new spaces of being and relax and let go of stuff that isn't mine and isn't me, the more my money flows are just I have a lot more ease with it. So there's a whole lot of stuff around that. And then there's also a lot of pragmatics around money, like knowing, what's coming in, what's going out, being willing to be present with your numbers and your finances and your figures and, making spreadsheets and knowing, what's the inflow, what's the outflow, what's required, how are you using your money, really giving yourself the gift of being present with your money so that you can have awareness of your finances. Because if you don't have that piece, you will push money out of your life. And so it's just like, if you wanted to change something with your body, like say you wanted to get fit, you're not going to be able to do that by just hoping that it happens. You have to change your behavior and, show up with your body in a different way. And there can be a lot of magic with that. I'm not going to tell you have to go to the gym every day, blah, blah, blah. I'm not going to tell you that because there's a lot of magic available. But anything you want to be different in your life, you need to be different in order for things to show up in a different way. And that's just how it works. It's like whatever we have right now, whatever our money situation is, whatever any situation is, whether it's something with your body or anything, it is in a way, kind of like a reflection of what you've been choosing so far. And so whatever your priorities have been with money will directly be showing up with what your money situation is right now. And if you'd like to change the money situation or create something greater with your money in the future, you need to change your priorities, or at least have a look at them. Get real with yourself, get vulnerable with yourself, have a conversation with yourself, look at your priorities and go, okay, if what is showing up right now is working, then great. But if it's not, or maybe it is and I'd like more, then what new priorities do I need to have? What new choices do I need to make? How do I need to be with this in a different way so that something different can show up? If one of the simplest, most wonderful quotes that I've always loved is, if you want what you've never had, do what you've never done. And I always add to that, like, be who you've never been. Do what you've never done and be who you've never been. So if you want to have a reality, a financial reality that you've never had, you need to do things with your money that you've never done. And you also need to be things that you've never been before, and choose things that you've never chosen. So there's this very kind of like full spectrum conversation about money that we have in Access Consciousness, and the tools of Access Consciousness are very robust, like very full spectrum. There's a huge scope of what the, how we address money and the creation of money and wealth with Access Consciousness tools. And for me, it's like, let's use all of them. If you'd like to have greater financial reality, more, you need to use everything you got, and if you want it to change rapidly, then really you want to use everything you got. Not from a, desperation point of view, but really from just like, hey, let's do this, It's kind of like, the new year comes and everybody's like, I'm going to get fit this year and lose weight, and then they all do that for like 3 days and they go to the gym and then they stop, So becoming an adult of consciousness, which is the title of this video, becoming an adult of consciousness is about, and with money, but becoming an adult of consciousness, period, is about stepping up to the plate in your own life and going, okay, it's time to handle this. It's time to change things. It's time to create more. I'm going to make a request of the universe. I'm going to make a demand of myself that I choose different, do different, be different, that I show up in a different way with myself and a different way with my money so that I can create more with it. Because if you keep doing the same thing, choosing the same thing with how you spend your money, how you earn your money, like, all the different ways that you are with money, if you keep doing the same thing and you keep checking out in the same places, the same thing is going to continue to show up. I can guarantee you that. So we have to really go, all right, if I'm here, I'm going in this direction, this is my future, and I want what's over there, I need to redirect. And you may be, even as I'm saying this, you may be aware of some things. Like there may be some things pinging for you where you're like, oh yeah, I know. Like, so if I asked you right now, hey, Micah, nice to have you here. Thanks everybody for being here. So if I ask you right now, like, what do you know? What is one thing that you know you need to do differently with money in order to change, or in order to create a greater financial situation? Oh my gosh, that's so funny. Bianca was just looking for some content on the topic of money in the Access Consciousness groups and podcasts. I love it. That's so great. Okay, so what's something that you know you need to do that's different than what you've done before? Now, some people would be like, I need to make a budget. I'm not a huge fan of budgeting. I mean, you do, like, my point of view is like, yes, be aware of the outflows, be aware of where your money's going and how you're using it, but you don't necessarily need to, like, anytime we try to shrink our finances, oftentimes that creates more poverty, like, because you're coming from the point of view of shrinking rather than being present. Maybe you do some rearranging, but there's an expansiveness to it. So what do you need to do that's different? What do you need to choose that's different? Is there one thing that pops for you? Like maybe it's, oh, I need to choose to be more present with this area of my finances, or I need to start saving money and putting money away more, or, could be lots of different things. Boldness, I love that. Well, so that was my next question. Hey, Ruth, is what do you need to be that's different? And there's something different that if you be it, you start to receive in a different way. Your the choices that are available to you and the choices that you're willing to make will change. And this is the cool thing about cultivating this different space of being. It's like our whole outlook changes, and the choices that we make and the things that we do, they all change with it. So being is such an amazing, like, access to everything that we'd like to have more of and to be different in our lives, because choosing to be more it will give you access to so many things. Now, how do you, that's a whole conversation in and of itself. Like, how do I be more, right? Well, there's a book called Being You Changing the World, great book. And there's also a class called Being You Changing the World. One of them is actually happening in just about a month in December in Mexico City and online with Dr. Dane here. So that's a great resource. You can read the book, you can take the class. The class doesn't have any prerequisites. And then also there's an amazing money tool in Access Consciousness called the How to Become Money Workbook. And the How to Become Money Workbook really expands your being and helps you let go of a lot of your insane points of view about money so that you can have a different point of view about money so that you can have a different reality with it. So that workbook allows you to let go of a lot of things that you don't even know you're carrying around. And it is our points of view about money that get in our way of creating more money and having more money. So you let go of those points of view, your money's going to start to show up in a different way as well. Your point of view creates your reality. If you have a different point of view, you're going to have a different reality. So that's an amazing tool. And there's a lot of books. Oh, thank you, Ruth. That's cool. My new series coming up, it's called I Am Power, Becoming an Adult of Consciousness with Money. And in that series, we're actually going to be going through all of this. Like, we're going to be having conversations and facilitation. So it's going to be 6 Zoom calls. It's an 8-week series. There's 6 Zoom calls with me. Everything will be recorded. There's a video a week for 8 weeks. There's a PDF a week for 8 weeks. Exercises for you to do. Roll up your sleeves, dive into your financial reality and see what you'd like to create, what you'd like to change, where you're at, where you'd like to go. So we're going to play with numbers. We're going to play with being more. We're going to play with the How to Become Money Workbook. So really approaching from all angles so that money becomes actually something that is choosable for you. When you are power, to me, what that means when I say I am power, and it's one of the parts of the How to Become Money Workbook, I'm indicating to myself that I am the source for the creation of money. I'm the source for the creation of everything. If I am power, then what I choose will be. And I don't know how, I don't know the details, the ins and outs, the logistics of it, but I do know if I am power, I do know that what I choose will be. And so that's, it's an amazing thing to play with and to start to work with, and energies to start to cultivate and be that then allow you to have money as a choosable reality, a choosable resource. Like something, like what would it be like if you could choose to have money in your life and have it show up? And that's something that we talk a lot about in Access Consciousness, but it's like, how do you get there? What's the nitty gritty of it? What are the pragmatics of that? Because choosing money and having money show up there's a lot of tools to play with in that reality that allow that to become a reality, rather than just a great idea. So one of the things I'm going to be really kind of walking people through in this series is that, and it'll show up how it shows up based on who's there and the facilitation that you require. But it's like, how do you go from choosing money as a great idea that you'd love to have as your reality to it actually being a reality where you go, I choose and money comes. And I am the source of that. I am the choice. I am the source of that. I am the power. And becoming an adult of consciousness with money is about getting present in those areas of your life where you don't want to be present. We all have areas of our lives where we don't want to be present. And those are the places where I will say you can bear the most fruit. If you have areas of your life where you don't want to be present, and then you start to be present, that's where you really start to change things, and new things, new realities start to show up. Getting present is one of those things that we want to avoid, and it's one of those things that is the greatest, it's such a great tool for creating more, creating greater. It's amazing what can show up when we just get present with something that we've been not wanting to be present with. And especially with money, there's so much checkout around money. There's so much ignoring and denying and, hoping it'll go away, or, that it'll change, or praying and, waiting for it to fall in your lap, waiting to win the lottery, blah, blah, blah. But it is your presence with it and your presence with yourself in regards to money that really starts to open things up and shift things in the direction of way greater. And you cannot, so what is an adult of consciousness? Well, I would say an adult of consciousness is someone who's willing to be present. They're willing to do whatever it takes and be whatever it takes to create the future that they know is possible. And I have to say, adult of consciousness, not an adult, because an adult, I don't ever want to be an adult. I mean, an adult in this reality is like somebody who is boring. For me, I was always like, I don't really want to be an adult, so I'm just gonna skip that, because I always looked at adults as very boring, very serious. They didn't have any fun. Their whole life was about following the rules and getting it right and taking care of everything and blah, and I was always like, I don't want to follow the rules. I don't want to get it right. I don't want to be the one taking care of everything. That doesn't sound very fun to me. I'd like to have fun, And for me, I always saw adults as people that didn't really have a whole lot of fun. And so it's that's not what I'm interested in. Now, an adult of consciousness actually is someone who loves to have fun, someone who has a joy, and they know that their joy is a huge part of what creates. It's you bring the energy of joy and enthusiasm, and even loving money, enjoying money, loving it. What if you could love money and enjoy money and have it flow into your life and be this is so great. It's so fun. Money is so fun. And if you can have that as a reality, that's where money starts to want to come to your party. That's part of being an adult of consciousness with money, because you're not serious with it. You don't have to get it right. You don't have to save for the next 10,000 years because, your grandfather did that and that's what was passed down to you and it's not even your point of view, right? But an adult of consciousness has an awareness of the future, is willing to know what's required, is willing to trust themselves, get vulnerable with themselves, be an allowance of themselves, and have a sense of movement in the direction that they know. It's what do you know? What do you know is possible? What do you know is available? What would you like your financial reality to be? And are you willing to get so present with you that you move in the direction of that, no matter what it takes, no matter what it looks like, no matter what you have to be, do, choose to make that happen. Even if it means pissing people off, confusing people, upsetting people in your life, it's moving in the direction of greater when it comes to money and finances in the direction that you know is greater. And there, you may have a lot of people in your life that don't agree with you, that, you know, think you're crazy. Thanks, Paul. Thanks for being here. That, you know, like are going to, you know, doubt you and try to, you know, persuade you in this way or that way. But you stay committed to you, you stay connected to you stay connected to the future that you know is possible. You get present, you be more, you do more, you choose more, you play with your numbers more, you have greater financial awareness, and you start to cultivate this different space and these different muscles, and you will see money start to move into your life in a different way and in a greater way. It's just how the universe works. It's how money works. It's how energy works. And so this series, I Am Power, Becoming an Adult of Consciousness with Money, it's going to be 8 weeks of that. It's a deep dive. Get ready to roll up your sleeves and, you know, get present with some things you may not want to get present with, but I'll be there with you, facilitating you and giving you, you know, cheering you on. We're going to have a Telegram group for people to connect with each other, weekly exercises, weekly videos, and 6 Zoom calls with me where you can ask any question. You can be facilitated in what's coming up, and we'll see where we go. It is irresistible. This has been in the works for a long time. I have been like, I've had this in my world for a long time, and I'm really excited to be putting it together now. Now's the time. So thanks everybody for being here and for being you. And I wonder what it would create if you came and played in the I Am Power series. If you want more information about it, you can go to heathernichols.com/IamPower. Hope to see you there. Bye.